Hi everyone, Emma here. I'm going to do a little unboxing of AliExpress items, but I wanted to point out something from yesterday's video regarding gluing on your tips for your clasp for kumihimo. So initially I use this Dazzle Tack jewelry glue, and I just want to say I've used this in the past for my leather wrap bracelets to glue the threads at the knot and stuff like that. Um, and I can't remember how effective it was, but I mean, you can see it's been used up, so it must have been somewhat effective. I did find that when I went to look at my bracelet this morning and test it out, so I always test it by actually pulling off the clasp, because that's, when you're using a magnetic clasp, that's what's going to happen. Or if you're wearing it and it's attached and it gets hooked on something, you want to see that it's not going to pull right off of your cord. So it did pull right off of the cord. So I just wanted to let you know, don't use this stuff. And actually, as I was looking at some of the claims that they make, it says crystal clear. Maybe when it comes out of the tube, and even you can see on the edge of the tube, this is all glue. That is not crystal clear. So it dries a cloudy look, which if you're looking for glue that, if you get it now, I have a bit on the edge here of E6000. Now with E6000, it's not that big of a deal because you can actually, peel this back with your nail and it just peels right off. But anyway, so don't recommend this stuff. So I don't know, maybe I'll put that in my wife's toolbox. Give her my cast offs. So anyway, I would recommend E6000. It's hard to tell that that's what this is. I have my new container, but I'm hoping to use up as much as I can from this tube. So that's what I went and did. I pulled these two things off, both ends of the clasp. And when I went to pull off the glue, the old glue, and let me enlarge this. When I went to pull off the old glue, it peeled right off like a tube. I was stunned. None of the fibers, like the woven fibers, had glue inside, so it didn't even permeate the different strands. So I would highly recommend maybe a two-step process in gluing. So maybe some GS Hypo on the end of your kumihimo before you cut your long strands and let it dry, because it will soak into the fibers of the cord and attach to each other, and then it'll become like a hard piece. You can cut the big strands off and then use E6000, put some inside your clasp and pop it on, and just any excess that comes out, just take it off with a toothpick. What I did do for this too is I did notice that there was a bit of weave. Like my weave, I left long enough that I could have easily cut it shorter and then attach this. But the clasp kind of doesn't come right up to the beads because of the way the weave kind of comes out from the bead and in. So what I did was I added a spacer bead and then the clasp, and this is the spacer bead that I added. You can easily get these on AliExpress. They're really pretty, the gold ones. I mean, the silver ones are as well. I have lots of silver ones, but I find the gold ones really match the different clasps, so it looks like it's part of the clasp. So I put that on first. I didn't even bother gluing it because I figured once I put this piece on, you would get some glue oozing in. And so I just did that, so I'm not going to try and pull at it, and I'm not going to try and clean that up, but definitely once it's dry, I would let it set for 24 hours. And here's the great thing about E6000. I have used it for leather bracelets. So attaching these type of clasps to strands of leather, and even leather that doesn't fit snugly inside the clasp opening, if you have like maybe a few strands of 2 millimeter and there's gaps everywhere, the E6000 will hold that. I have made those and I've tried and tried to pull it off and it will not pull off, and that's 24 hours after it's set. So definitely leave it, and remember, you can always embellish with some spacers like this. So I'm going to put that aside and let's take a look at what came in the mail. There's not a whole lot here, but we'll take a look anyway. I love, love, love these flower charms. They are amazing. You can use them for so many things. So you can use them to make just regular pendant earrings, or I've used them as an accent in the middle of a bracelet. So you can take that off, you can glue this on to something. You can embellish it. There's all kinds of things. You can make like a cha-cha bracelet with a bunch of these flowers. So this is the pink one, and you can see they're nice and thick. So, and they're well done. They have the nice kind of enamel looking inside the flower as well, with the little dots of metal. So quite nice. So that's the pink one. I usually get, actually I'm going to leave those out. I usually get the different colors. They did have, I think, another color, but I found the other color didn't look that great. I think it might have been orange flower. So here's the blue, really pretty. You could add this to like a Easter bracelet, cha-cha bracelet with some bunnies and eggs, and really nice. So there's the blue. And then we have some white. And these are, they're so cute. I love them. I use stuff like this too on kind of like punk chain design. So like part really chunky gold chain and then part pearls, and then you put the clasp at the front and on a necklace, and then you use this as your charm. So that is lovely. I think I used flowers like this where I took this piece off, that loop, and I glued it to a ring form. So you can see that would look amazing as a ring. You could probably bend this actually. Let's take a look if we can bend it. So I've got my bending tool. I look for every opportunity to use this tool. Imagine that. So there's the, you could probably bring it to the side and bend it. It's quite thick, so it looks like it's hard to bend, and I'm just bringing it to each end. Let's see if that worked. It does feel a bit bent. And then you have your set for your ring. So there's the white ones. Then we got some really fancy stuff. Oh, fancy clasps. I have so many clasps, and the terrible thing is I end up trying to figure out what to put on, and then sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't have the right one for this bracelet. So these are flowers. Initially I was not, when I saw these on AliExpress, I was like, oh, I don't know about them. And then after the last couple of bracelets that I used, these are cubic zirconia crystals. I went back and ordered some that I thought, oh, not too sure about. These are really pretty. Look at how thick. They're high up. That's what it looks like. And it has these clasps, and the bar is inset, which is great because you can do your pearl knotting and go through this, and then your pearl will sit on that area. So let's take a look. Sometimes these are hard to open when they're not attached, and sometimes they're just hard because they're new. And I apologize, I have glue all over my fingers from the bracelet that I just showed you. So there. So that was hard to open, but you know what? They're not. It's usually just the first time that they're hard to open. I usually try and go back and forth and kind of get it moving a bit. But I would also recommend, if you order stuff like this, make sure you go through each one and you test it, because I got a batch that were completely seized up. They were impossible to open. And the way it works with AliExpress, so now that doesn't seem to want to close. There. So yeah, I would just work that one. Maybe once it's open to maybe try that. What I'm suggesting is maybe move this notch a little. So yeah, so it's going straight in. So it needs to move this way. So let's see if we can kind of maneuver this a bit. That seemed to have moved it. You can see now it's a little more. Let me see how that. It still needs to move a little bit more, but just be careful when you're doing it not to break it. If it breaks and you're testing these and it breaks, I would definitely do a dispute with AliExpress. Don't contact the seller. The seller will try to suggest doing some returns and all kinds of stuff. AliExpress is so big. They have a computer system that deals with their disputes. So if you do a dispute, just say clasp doesn't open, unusable. Include a picture, and even if this is what the picture looks like, include this as the picture. It's a computer program. They don't look at the picture. They just need to know that you've submitted a picture as evidence. And you'll get within, like I get them in less than 24 hours. I have a credit in my bank account. So if there's multiple clasps and just one is not working, I'm always honest about it, and it'll ask you how much money you want back as the refund, and make sure you click refund only. And now they've made it comes like each part of the dispute is a separate page. It used to be one long page. So it'll come and it'll say, do a smart deposit or something stupid like that. Do not click on that. Go further down, and you'll be able to open up a drop down window that says refund to original billing. And like that's your credit card or your PayPal or your ATM card. So make sure you do that so it goes directly to whatever you paid with. And then it'll ask for how much. It'll always put the total amount in there that it costs for, say, this item with the 2 pieces. You can do a calculation of half of that. That's what I do. I do the calculation of whatever percentage. If there's 10 clasps and 2 are broken, then I do it that way. I don't, I'm not interested in making a few dollars off of AliExpress, but I do want to make sure I get what I deserve or paid for. So just thought I'd let you know. I know a lot of people have mentioned that they have problems with AliExpress. If you have any questions, I can do another tutorial. I have I think 2 videos on AliExpress, how to order and how to do a dispute. So yeah, definitely let me know, because It is a great resource, so I hate to hear when people say they don't use it for that reason. So, because once, and it is, to be fair too, it is difficult to figure out. My wife wanted to buy some sunglasses, and because she would be a new customer, you get a big discount as a new cut. I think you get your first item free as a first time customer. So she was going to order these sunglasses. Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe how long it took us to get her account set up and to get her in to order stuff. And I'm saying, that's weird. It doesn't do that for mine. So I bring out my tablet and show her this is what it should look like. So don't be frustrated. It just definitely let me know, and I will, turn my tablet up to my screen and show you how to place an order, how to do disputes, whatever it is you're looking for. So how to do searches. So this is the next one. This is from the same seller. Look at how gorgeous this is. Oh my gosh. These are beautiful. I am just blown away. I was thinking of doing some knotted pearls for my nieces for Christmas, and these would be lovely on as the front or the back of the clasp. So those are really pretty. These are about $2.30 each. They're in my kind of rule book. They're expensive, but for what they are cubic zirconia, and they're really lovely. And as far as I know, I've been using these type of silver clasps. The metal is really good, so I haven't had any issues yet. When I do, I'll let you know. What did I pull out the other day? That was an old, I think it was a bead weaving bracelet, and I was shocked at the clasp was all rusted, and the shiny metal was flaking off and stuff like that. I'll try and find it and show you. I've kind of, I mean, besides some stuff like this that are just for fun, I've kind of stayed away from, just in the last little bit, of buying any more metal components from AliExpress for that reason. And it's not AliExpress per se, it's everywhere. That's what the stuff is made of. So if you get something a little more well done, you'll be happier. This can be an heirloom kind of thing. And the other part to this, you can always restring if this gets all nasty after, say, 10 years or something. So we'll see how long these guys last. Those are pretty. There's more. So these two here were from the same seller, and they are both about $2.30 each. So I think it was like $4, almost $5 for a set of two. I think that's how they come. And then, please, so this stuff is all from the same seller. And these are beautiful. Oh my god. These are gorgeous. Oh, look at these. These are really pretty. Wow. So these are nicer because they're a little more compact, so they don't take up as much of your bracelet or necklace. But they all have these like little cage situations, so you can weave your thread through there if you want. So you could create your bracelet right around, or you can just attach it through here. And this is the clasp. Again, it's one of those fold over. So that one was easier to open. So it's attached on the one. So it's interesting because some of the ones I have that are attached to hearts are actually this piece, this fold over piece, is not attached. It's totally separate from the other heart, so you can use the heart separately. But that's what they look like. And that's the back side of that one. So that's lovely. And that was pretty easy to open, that one. So there's that. Then we have these. These are wild. I could not resist on these ones. And these, like these and these, when you bring up that store and these items, they'll have like different colors, and you click on the different colors and these different designs will come up. The prices will change according to the design. So I'm pretty sure this one was a little more expensive than this one. But I'm also very frugal, so I can't imagine it was too expensive, but this is gorgeous. I love this piece. And you can see this section here. You could actually use this separate on a different piece like this, and you could use this piece on a chain and just add chain to this. That would look pretty cool. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? So there's two of those. These are really nice. I don't know why I ordered them. It's not my usual flowers or hearts. Now this one's super hard to open on that side. And these, like I said, these are really hard to open. I tend to use my rubberized tools to open them. But this is great too. So it's got this kind of cone shape here. So your bead will fit somewhat in it, and you can put your thread through. There's two holes, so you can go through one and come up the other. And yeah, that is lovely. Yeah, it's time to do some pearls. With all the pearls I got from the sale at Shipwreck Beads, it's time. These are gorgeous. And you can see it's on my finger. So here's my baby finger. Fits on the baby finger. So it's small, but I wouldn't say it's super small, because that's actually pretty big. When you think of a clasp being either half an inch or an inch. So this is probably a half an inch. Let me see. Yeah, it's 3/4 of an inch. So that's pretty big for a clasp. This is what it looks like on the side, and this is back. So let's see. And again, this is a little difficult to do when it's not attached to something. So I'll just leave it be for now. But definitely go through and test your stuff. And I would highly recommend, if you see how hard this is to open for me, to use your tools. And I'm just looking. So this, I need to redo these. And I do have a video on the tool magic. I used to have it up on my desk, but I think I may have moved it to make some room. It's just a small jar. You can get it at Michael's. And you just take your tools and you dip it right in the bottle and take it out, and you set them somewhere to dry overnight. But you can see I've used it enough, so then I'll just go through and peel that right off and redo them. So it'll protect your, so if I'm trying to open this and grab hold like that, I'm not going to do it because my tips are not covered, but you can just grab it and open. So that. Anyway, let's look at the last one. So this one I saw being used for a necklace. But you can do it the same way for a bracelet too. So you can attach your bracelet to this side and then attach the other side to this loop here. And this becomes your opening. This is really beautiful. Oh my gosh. They are really lovely. And of course, it's like, it's almost there. Oh, it's the other side. It's getting hooked. That is weird. It's misshapen the piece, that's why it's getting hooked. I think we need to open this one so we can see what is going on. There we go. So this is the side. Oh wow. It's nice and solid. All the cubic zirconia on the flower petals as well as the middle. This big opening. And that's what it looks like on the underside. So I don't know if you can really see this, but see how that piece, there's like a, almost like an added piece there. So you can see it on that side. So I might risk it and clip that little piece off and see if it makes a difference. But you know what? I don't know that it needs it. I think it's just awkward. I might just move it, see if I can move it forward a bit. The other thing I found is if I just took them and opened and closed them, so now it's, you know, opening and closing pretty good. So not a big deal. This one is a bit, there's some little lines here. The other one's perfect. So this could be just a weird, you know, misshapen one. We'll see. I tend to think about these things after and then do a dispute, but sometimes it's like from a distance you can't see that. So this is this lovely. You can imagine why I love this stuff. Oh, they're so beautiful. They're incredible. So there you go. Thanks for joining me, and stay tuned. I'm gonna be doing some more videos today. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.